This is the Best Syndication News production. On September 6, 2007, Officer Jeffrey Perez told the Pinon Hills MAC that the CHP and others are negotiating with the California Speedway in Fontana as a host for legal street racing. This is a video of that meeting.
California Highway Patrol Officer Jeff Perez.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Officer Jeffrey Perez. I'm the Public Affairs Officer at the CHP office in Victorville. I'm going to touch a little bit on this 138 opening. This is how it was given to me. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock is a news conference basically explaining the completion of the project. There is a possibility that that same day the opening will occur. Definitively, though, or contractually, Caltrans has made a commitment to September 11th, but they have some fine-tuning to do, and there could be a possibility, I don't know what percentage, but that's per Caltrans Public Information Officer Terry Cassine. So the news conference is just explaining that they're at the completion phase, or completed, and as it does open, just for info, there will be ongoing construction still in the area, but there will not be any lane closures.
Have you driven it?
Yes.
What do you think?
Widening, definitely. We're gonna remove the bottlenecks that have occurred in the past, and our concern now will just be the speeders in the area.
And now everybody will be able to go faster.
Yeah.
Right?
So we'll deal with that as it
but
comes.
Maybe they'll go faster in their own lanes this time.
We hope so. But they definitely are dedicated truck lanes now, so as the truckers go through the areas, they will have to be in designated truck lanes, slow lanes. So, yes, sir.
Will the speed limit remain 55?
Yes, that's not by the Highway Patrol. Caltrans does an engineering survey, and they make that determination. We just enforce the speed limits.
Gosh, we're hoping they raise it to 60 just like the freeway.
Now, we are getting an influx in these areas of illegal street racers, and we're asking the communities now to please report any suspicious activities. They are targeting these types of communities that are quiet and rural, and so if you see any illegal street racers, please notify the Sheriff's Department or the Highway Patrol. We're taking enforcement seriously in regards to that. On the other side of it, though, in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department and community leaders, we're putting together a task force to deal with this problem, and it's a kind of friendlier approach where we're going to give these street racers an avenue to do their activity, but in a safer environment, that being, for example, the speedways, the racetracks. In Los Angeles County, it's effective. They're going to the Irwindale Speedway, and we are right now in negotiations with the Speedway here in Fontana. We're trying to see if we can get these kids down to those avenues so they can get them off the streets. They're spending anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 modifying their vehicles. On the outside, you probably won't even recognize it. They just look plain stock, but it's underneath the engines, the suspensions, that they put a lot of money into it. We're not going to deter from doing enforcement, but this is the first time I'm seeing up here in the county where we're trying to be more aggressive in giving these younger folks an opportunity to take their illegal activity to a more safer environment. Will it be effective? We'll see, but we're trying to do some other approaches beyond the normal enforcement mode. Yes, sir.
Well, you just answered, will it be effective? The kids are spending this much money on vehicles that they race on streets at midnight. Are they legal, first of all? Will the kids want to go to Fontana, or is it more risque to be out with your friends at midnight?
Right. What they're doing in LA County is they're actually putting together a street club with backings of local law enforcement agencies. They're saying, we'll help you as long as you take it to this arena, away from the streets, away where people can get killed and hurt. It's a long shot, I guess, but it's an approach that they're trying to do something to alleviate the problem. I don't know if you folks notice more so out in Victorville area, but on Friday nights, Saturday nights, the Lowe's parking lot out there off of Bear Valley is one of their main stops before they start their silliness. And we've known about it, and we're trying to combat the problem, but they are now beginning to come to these areas out here in Phelan and Pinon Hills.
So they're not our local kids, these are kids from somewhere else?
Some of them are local, but the majority of them come from Los Angeles, Riverside areas. Yeah, yes.
When you stop an illegal racer in Pinon Hills, say, do you confiscate their car?
We can't. There are vehicle code sections for modifications, and when we title unsafe vehicle, we can't take it.
I would think that would be a
And
huge deterrent.
not only are we going to take it, but many of these vehicles that are modified have stolen engines, stolen parts. There are other sections too that we can take. I'm amazed. I stopped a kid 20 years old, and he's got 60,000 plus worth
Yeah,
of
because where they get the money.
parts.
They steal it, they don't need it.
I agree. One can only assume where you get those parts of those or that type of money. But unfortunately, not all illegal street racers are bad. But with that comes gang influences and all these other problems for the areas. So we're just trying to.
So how do you decide whether you're going to confiscate or not?
Well, we have teams that come out and actually we can take it and impound it and do our inspections of the vehicles. The vehicles, as you know, have what they call a vehicle identification number. Some of them are not in obvious locations, so the vehicle code allows us to further inspect those vehicles. And many times we find that the vehicles have stolen parts or are actually stolen.
You're gonna do that with every vehicle that comes to the Speedway?
No.
You're gonna get great participation if you do.
No, it's a delicate approach. We have to have a balancing act. We're still law enforcement, but we want to kind of give these kids an avenue. We're trying to get them off the streets where they hurt us and themselves, and that's the main emphasis of this. Yes.
Do you think you have more because of the shutdown of Palmdale Raceway?
Yes, they're coming out here because they're seeing that the desert is a wide open spot, and there's a lot of locations. They're very sophisticated. They have radios. They've got contacts. They've got corners. They've got lookouts. They have people who they pay big dollars to race out here. It's kind of amazing. I don't want to give them too much credit, but some of them are pretty organized as far as how they're doing these illegal street racing. The Fast and Furious movie just added fuel to something that was already there. Some of us, including myself, when I was younger, I remember the various places you could go to where people you'd see get in their hot rods and go out and street race.
It doesn't seem like it costs that much to put something like that together, like the Palmdale, just,
Right.
it's,
Well, we're looking at avenues. We've looked at the dry lake bed here in El Mirage. We're looking for open space locations. Of course, there's issues like liability, insurance,
Exactly.
those types of things. But there's a lot of active community members in the high desert who really want to get involved in this. They have their own kids that they know are doing this stuff. So there's a lot of contacts in regards. So I'll keep you posted, but it's just an early phase thing, and hopefully it goes to something that's worthwhile for the high desert. I know it's working down in Los Angeles County. So, and kind of going in that and segueing into the gang problems. One of our officers a couple days ago was just in the office in his patrol car, just complete some paperwork where a gang member affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood white supremacists literally jumped over our fence in the CHP office in Victorville and struggled or fought the officer. He was under the influence of methamphetamine,
Oh, I knew that.
and we found out through intel today that the word is out now on law enforcement agencies that this particular group affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood will be confronting and will be doing this towards law enforcement. The officer was just no more than in his office, minding his own business. The individual came up to the office screaming help, that somebody was after him. Then he jumped over a fence that was barbed wired on the top and immediately just confronted the officer just in the violent struggle. The officer had minor injuries, but it's the mindset of what's out here. So it goes along again with the street racers and the gangs. If you see this activity, we need